Does anyone else think this is a bit big for my first attempt at doing a freeform bowl thing? Yeah, anyway, I'm going to try. I want to make something with a nice crystal edge. We're going to be using these because I'm a bit into this sort of rose gold look at the moment, and a load of colours. I'm not sure what yet. Maybe just a couple of colours so it doesn't get too much. But yes, it's a whopper. So let's see how I get on. So you might hear some background noise. It's actually quite a reasonably nice day for January in England, and I've got the window open, of course, for ventilation, and you can hear the birds. You might hear a bit of traffic noise too. I think that's quite pleasant myself. Anyway, the resin I'm using is Apex 1 coat, and as you can see, it's really thick. Particularly so as this room's a little bit cooler today because, well, it's January in England and I've got my windows open. So warming the room up is not really an option at the moment. So this might take a little bit longer to cure than it should. It's a 2-hour cure, theoretically, but to say today will be a whole different ball game. Stirring it nice and slowly, which is unusual for me. Now, this resin, as I said, it's called Apex 1 coat. It's a nice easy 1-to-1, so for the hard of thinking like me, that's pretty straightforward. It's good for shallower pours. I mean, it'll go up to, I can't remember what depth they said. Is it about 3 centimetres, something like that? Anyway, yeah, I've used it up to well over an inch and not had any problems at all. That's about 2.5 centimetres ish for those of you who do centimetres. I do a bit of both. And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward one to use. It's reliable. Now, because it can theoretically cure in 2 hours, I'm going to have to come up and check on this in an hour because I want to be able to shape it over a bowl, don't I? And so that needs it to be pliable still. So I'll carry on stirring and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, hopefully that is mixed. It's incredibly thick at the moment because it is it's a bit chilly. I mean, it's thick anyway, but that's actually made my arm ache. Now, the colours I have chosen, let's put this to one side for a minute because it's a bit, just cleaned it and I don't want to get it full of gunk. Yes, let's put it down there. Right, the colours I've chosen are, let's have a bit of floating silver. And then this is like a deep blue, almost black once you get it into your resin. It's fantastic. Obviously we've got a kind of rose gold effect there. I've got some supreme white and some white shimmer. I'll see how I go. I might use some of those as well. So the first thing to do is get this decanted off into some other pots, and I am going to put a good big dollop in both. Now, in all these, rather. Both. Get your English straight, Tracy. Now, what I'm thinking is that I'm not sure whether we'll get any sort of fancy effects a great deal because of how thick this resin is, but let's try it. You know what I mean about the colours mixing and blending, and we'll see what happens. And of course the colours I've picked, some are powders, some are pastes, so who knows what the effect of this is going to look like. But let's get our colours mixed up first. So let's get the blue. I love this blue. It is, let's get a bit on the end of my knife. These are all from Just For You Online, as is the resin, by the way. I'm having a bit of a Just For You Online fest today. See what I mean about that blue? That is beautiful. It is just so subtle. Now, because I think I want that to be a bit stronger, I'm going to get a bit more of that powder in there. Where's my little spoons gone? Here we go. Just go a bit steady with this because you don't actually need that much. They're very strong pigments, these are. But I do want this to be quite opaque, I think. This is going to be my stronger dark colour. There, isn't that lovely? There's that one. Luckily I've got a lot of these little plastic knives. So that's the blue. The next I want to mix up, I think I am going to have a bit of white shimmer. Now this hasn't been used for a few days, so it's gone a little bit thick and lumpy, so let's give it a little stir. There we go. Now that's a pigment paste. I'm really not going to need much of that. Pigment pastes are very, very heavily pigmented. As you can see, that's going white and shimmery already, even with that tiny bit. I have got a new pot of that on the go as well, but Let's use up the old one first, eh? So, that's nice, isn't it? That's quite opaque. So we're going to need some actual white. I'm not sure. What I do want to mix up though is, and I'll just do a little bit of this because it is a bit prone to taking over, so let's put a bit more in a smaller pot. When I say a bit, I mean a bit, compared to everything else. And that is that silver. Now this silver, I don't know if you've seen it before, it's the floating silver. So you can do all sorts with this, but it is absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything quite like how this stuff behaves. And I don't usually mix it in with resin. I usually do it as like a sprinkle, or a brush it in, or something, yeah, that sort of thing. But when you do mix it in with resin, watch this. I've put quite a lot there, so this should be impressive. Look at this. I notice it flying around in the air, that's how fine it is. But look at that. Most silver powders, when you put them into resin, go like a matte finish. Look how shiny that is. It's absolutely incredible. I haven't put too much. I could put more and make it even shinier, but I'm not going to. Or am I? Yeah, go on. That's quite a lot. That should go completely crazy now. But what will happen is that some of that will float up to the surface. It should do crazy things on the surface of the resin. That's what I'm hoping. I'm going to put the lid on quick because that stuff is just so fine, it's insane. So some will sink, some will float, some will stay mixed in. It'll do its thing. Look at it on that surface. So I'm going to have to go a bit sparing with this, as you can imagine. And this is their supreme white. Look how thick that is. Oh, yeah, it's not quite as thick as that when you get it, but it is pretty thick. It's getting on for that thick. There we are. We might need some white. So let's get that ready. And watch that tiny bit. Don't know if you can see because this is in a white cup. But that will go, that tiny bit will be enough to make this go completely opaque, I'll bet. So this is the thing, these pigment pastes, they look expensive, they're really not. I think I've been using this one now for over a year, and I use a lot. Look at that. So you don't need much, and that's why they're not expensive after all. I have done videos on making my own pigment paste, of course, you can if you want to. But I find actually, and it works, but I find actually you end up using so much of the powder to make it that you might as well have just bought some pigment paste. It's a fun thing to do though. First thing I want to do is go in with this. Now it is crushed glass, so I want to try and be careful not to scratch the mould with it. So I'm going to put it into a spoon. By which scratching the mould I mean if I put it in not quite the right place and have to move it, if I have to brush it around, there's a chance I'll scratch the mould, and this is a brand new mould. It wasn't an expensive one. I mean, big moulds always cost a bit more because there's a lot of silicone, obviously, but really it wasn't expensive. I can't remember how much. I'll put you a link for it anyway. But as big moulds go, it wasn't an expensive one, but I don't want to be doing too much of this, you see. That's what I mean. I've seen Petra Gerbrecht making these recently, and they're absolutely amazing. And the resin looks thicker than I thought because you can actually see how deep it is because she's been using the moulds with like the cascade edges, and she's going down a good couple of steps, so it's actually thicker than I thought. But exactly how thick, I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see. Now what I'm doing first is going around with a good ring of clear, and that's because I don't want the resin, the colours of the resin, to completely swamp that sparkle at the edges. The tray out today. Now the blue I'm going to put just on the inside edge of that clear, just inside the edge. I'm trying to get it even, but of course inevitably I've got more at the start than at the one end than the other, so I'm going to go back round. And I think I might have to mix up some more clear to do a dump in the centre, mightn't I? I thought I'd have enough there, but I haven't, but that won't take me long to do. I'm getting bits of the colour dripping all over the place. It's going where I don't want it to go. I'm not going to care. It all adds to the character, that's what I say. And I'm going to pop that just around the inner edge of that blue, like so. And it's spilling over in places. Then next I think I'm going to go in with a silver. Now as I said, I'm going to have to be careful with this. It's also extremely thick. So what I'm going to do, look how silver that is on my knife. What I'm going to have to do, I think, is squeeze my little cup. And what I want is just a thin silver line around this inner rim. So I'm putting it on top of the white, but only just. So I've decided I want quite a lot more of that blue. I think I want this a lot darker than it looks like it's going to be at the moment. And I'm not sure, perhaps I should have just done that silver and gone a bit more monochrome-y kind of with blue. I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, we're going in with a lot more blue. I'm doing the usual thing, aren't I? I'm making it up as I go along. We're going in with some more blue. And quite a big thick layer. This will push everything back a bit, I hope. Okay. And I'm going to go around with a bit more blue back around this ring as well. Because whilst I don't necessarily want it to go into the crushed glass, I think I want it a bit stronger than that. It's all going to push and pull and move about and do something weird anyway, knowing resin. And who knows what will cross its little silly mind. So where did I put that white? There it is. Now I made this really quite opaque, so this could be interesting. So we're going to have a little rim just around on top of the blue. We'll probably just get a light blue, won't we? And it won't be at all interesting or exciting. Now, what I am going to do is squeeze my pot and do some kind of leafy patterns. So I'm going quite quickly, so it's going all squiggly. So I have no idea what this is going to do, but let's see what happens. Dread to think what this is going to come out like. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun. I'm actually enjoying doing this, which is good. You should enjoy your craft, shouldn't you? Right, and here we have clear, and we're going to go for a dump in the middle thing, which will probably ruin the whole thing. We'll see. It hasn't gone down to the bottom like I hoped it would. Let's see what happens. But I'm hoping that's thick enough as well. I'm just going to carry on pouring this, so it's going to take a while to come out of the pot. Just hoping my tabletop is level enough, because this is too big for a levelling table. I really wish someone would make double-sized levelling tables. I really do. The little ones are so handy. It's just a shame nobody makes a whopping big one. It's time to do something nice at the edges. Anyway, what I'm going to do is leave this on... Can you hear me over the gun? I'm going to leave this on time-lapse and we'll see what it actually does. But can you see what's happening with that silver? How that floats, some of it does, and some of it will have gone through to the other side, I hope, but most of it floats. It's because it's so light. But it's a really nice effect, isn't it? Right, I am going to leave this on time-lapse and I'll see you later. So this isn't doing anything very exciting, so what I've decided to do is get something with a soft tip, which would be a micro brush, and do like a flower thing with it, and that, by which I mean do this. Now if any of you are going, no, we liked it how it was before, I'm sorry. And then of course I'll be back in. I'm going to check on it every half an hour, I think, because this stuff does cure so quickly, and we'll see what stage it's at each time. Right, I'm back, and this has really brought home to me that my desk is not level. It keeps going from side to side, so I don't think this is going to have the natural settling effect I wanted. Anyway, I keep looking in the middle and thinking it needs something there. I didn't want to put more of the glass because that would be the same, and I didn't think I wanted that. However, I have got some gorgeous rose gold glitter from Just For You online. Now I don't know how far this is going to spread, to be honest, but I'm putting quite a bit. And I don't know if it'll sink either because this resin is so thick, but let's see what it does. Okay, I think we've timed this right. Now it is still bendy, look, and I think I can get it out. Yeah, look at that. Oh, this is weird. I should have gloves on, shouldn't I? Oh, no, I'll just wash my hands thoroughly afterwards. If your resin's still bendy, the chances are it's still giving off nasty stuff. So this is another do like I say, not like I do. You should have gloves on. I know what I'm talking about. No, I don't. Anyway, I think this could easily stretch as well. Oh, timed that just right. I have been checking on it every half an hour, to be fair, to be on the safe side. Now, I could put it in the bowl, or I could put it over the bowl. Now my thought, oh, look at that side. Oh, crikey. Now which is going to be the inside and which is going to be the outside? Oh, I don't know. I don't know now. They're both beautiful. Oh, this is a big decision. Which do you see most? You see the inside really, don't you? I think that's the inside. I get to go that way. Right, let it flop. Just see what it does first. So that would make like a triangular bowl. Is that? Should we just let it do that? It wants to be kind of symmetrical with it though, doesn't it? It would probably be better though, wouldn't it? Don't look like a star shape. Yeah, I'm quite liking the star shape. I just don't quite know how to make it stay like it. I could put the things against it like that. Does that do it? Might do. Bottles of stuff. Now it's popping out again. I suppose, I mean, this is what I think I've seen people do. Just keep adjusting it as you go. So if I push all these bottles so they're touching the metal of the bowl, then I know I've got an equal size all round. Do I want bigger crinkles? So that gap there is not going to be as wide. This is just a case of keep fiddling, isn't it? I need something to go here. I've run out of bottles and things. airbrush cleaner. Does that look roughly equal? I don't. Just some of these look wider than others. I'm pleased with the colours. You know what, I think that's going to be near enough. Oh, I see, that's how you adjust it. Kind of push and pull. Now you can put something underneath as well, I guess. That one doesn't seem to want to stay as wide, so let's do that. What about here? I think it's just going to not have to matter if it's not quite symmetrical. Well, that's what I always say, isn't that the whole point of handmade things, that there is a little sort of irregularity to them, a little bit of handmadiness. That's always my excuse if it doesn't go quite how I wanted it anyway. Right, I'm now going to leave that. It's now warming up in this room because we've got the heating on, and yeah, so hopefully that will cure quite quickly. I'm going to leave it a good few hours, probably until morning now. So I'll see you when we can tip it over and we'll see what we've ended up with. Just cross everything for me, folks, because I haven't got time to make another one apart from anything else, because that takes over a whole workspace and I can't do anything else whilst this is going on. Right, I'll see you later. Well, it's been what, like 5 hours, and this is rock hard. Now that quick cure resin, I think it would have been, yeah, would have been this hard in about sort of 4 normally, 3.5, 4, something like that. Because it demolds in 2 hours normally. So look at that. I'm pleased with that. But look at this. Now this was the back. Yeah, it's this side is the one meant to be the one that I was working on. That you can't see. But this side I love, and I'm glad I put that bit of extra glitter in the middle. It's subtle, it's just giving it that little bit of sparkle. The only thing I have noticed is that the bowl has marked this in the centre, which is a shame. I think next time I'll put something over it. So there we go. I just hope my niece likes this. I don't know, I find it difficult to buy for, but she does love handmade. So it's a straightforward solution. So this is my first ever wibbly wobbly freeform bowl. So yeah, I hope she likes it. Now my only dilemma is, do I go all the way around this edge now with a rose gold pen? And I don't think I will. One thing I will do though is go around it with a nice big nail file just to take off any little sharp edges here and there. Right, let's get some photos done for the end of the video. You know what to do if you like this video, everyone. Please do give me a thumbs up, and you know where the subscribe and the like button are. They're down below here. Below that you'll find all the details of the products that I used in the making of this. If you're interested and want to treat yourself, don't forget I've got a load of discount codes for you as well. Now, if you're wondering what to watch next, if you look up here, YouTube thinks you might like the video that is about to pop up in this corner. So I'll see you for the next one then, folks. Bye.